Have you ever done your makeup and you look in the mirror and you're like, I look like more tired than I did when I started, and something just looks off, something's just not right? You're not crazy. Your face does look like that. It does look a little bit more tired. The problem isn't like your lack of sleep. It's not your skin. It might not even be your concealer. Sometimes it's your eye makeup or lack of eye makeup. Today, I'm gonna be doing one of my very original looks that I used to wear all the time from like 2009 to 2012. I was very into pinup makeup. It was a very simple look too, but it was one of those looks that if you like poorly executed it, it could look like garbage. And I'm gonna unpack the 3 secrets about why your makeup might not actually be doing what you think it's doing. If you're new here, hi, my name is Megan. I've been doing makeup for 15 years. If you wanna hear my 3 secrets behind why your makeup isn't actually doing what you think it's doing, please keep on watching. This was something that I didn't really understand when I was like teaching myself how to do makeup, because I only wanted to do what I wanted to do. So like I only really wore like colorful eyeshadow in the beginning, and I didn't do foundation because I didn't know how to do foundation. So I just left it and would tell myself like, this looks fine. But like really realistically, when I look back on the photos, I'm like, oh, that looks off. So it might not be something that you guys recognize right away, but it actually does exist. Once I started doing my skin and I was like learning and things like that, I hated powder. So like my first, I don't know, 2 years at MAC, like I refused to wear powder under my eye. I would just wear like Bright Forecast or Radiant Rose, whatever concealer I was wearing at the time, and I wouldn't set it with powder because I hated the look of it. But then when I look back at photos, I'm like, Megan. And the thing is that it's fine. It didn't really look that bad, but like I just know better now. And that in fact like did make me look a little bit more tired. And I see it a lot too, where people don't know exactly what they're supposed to be targeting. So they look in the mirror and they're like, Kate, this doesn't really make any sense. This doesn't look right, but they don't specifically know where to go because they don't know what they're looking for. So if you ever looked in the mirror and you're like, you don't love it, it doesn't speak to you, but your like brain is blank. You're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like do my cheek or my lip or my eye or what. I used to wear Brule all over my eyelid, and then I would go in with Wedge. I don't have Brule anymore, but I do have Wedge here. So secret number 1 is that a like half done eye makeup is a huge part of why kind of the whole face is being dragged down. And let me make this so clear. It doesn't mean that you have to all of a sudden commit 25 minutes to your eye look. It means that you have to have a completed eye in whatever time frame you're working with. So it's that whole concept of like light makeup is just enough. But truly, as a makeup artist, that no makeup look requires a lot more product. You have to be more strategic, and it actually does take a lot of time. So when you're just taking, you know, one shimmer and throwing it on the lid, or like one shadow that kind of flattens the whole eye area, you just create, like you've just taken out like life or dimension kind of in that one area, and you need to go back in and rebuild it. That's just what makeup is. I've mentioned this in other videos before. You need depth, you need light, you need structure to get the most out of your makeup to elevate your features. You know, kind of like at the end of the day and you're starting to take your makeup off, maybe your lip is off now, you kind of like rubbed here, and then you kind of maybe do a makeup wipe or take off that first like wash of makeup, and your face isn't fully clean and the makeup's not fully off. That's kind of the equivalent of having in between makeup, like an uncompleted look. It's bringing me back. So when you're doing a rushed makeup look, or your placement isn't intentional and made for your face shape, you're not wearing less makeup, you're wearing incomplete makeup. I ran out of Brush Black brushstroke liner, so I'm just gonna use this Melt liquid eyeshadow. I used to hear it all the time, like, no, I can't wear all that because like I want to look like you, but like I don't have the time to do that. First of all, you have no idea what I'm wearing or how it was done or how fast or slow it was, right? And there's a version of me for you. I'm not a huge, I prefer brown liquid liner personally. And the thing is, like back in the day, before TikTok was really a thing, no, like way before TikTok was a thing, you sought out a makeup artist, or you sought out like a makeup artist book or something to learn how to do completed looks. And because it is a technique and it is a skill that has to be taught. There's so much you can learn kind of on your own depending on how much you commit to it. And so a lot of what happens now is when a makeup artist tells you, okay, in order to execute like this eye you're looking for, you need, you know, these 5 products to really nail exactly what you asked for. And the instant kind of reaction is like, okay, they're just trying to sell me product. Now, can that happen? For sure, that could happen. But when you have a good artist, they're just really trying to like get you to that look that you want. And in my experience, when you end up taking some of it away, and you're like, okay, no problem, like let's, you know, put this down to 3 pieces versus 5. You often don't want what that 3 looked like because the 5 step is actually did exactly what you were looking for, right? So when you take a base color and you buff it everywhere and just throw on mascara, you've lost any dimension in your eye shape. And that's where you'd want to introduce eyeliner. Eyeliner is what's going to add that structure back into the eye. And now when you balance the structure in the eye, maybe you need more structure in the crease. So now you need a crease color. And that's how an eye builds. And when you just do half of it, it just looks undone. It just looks tired. There have been times, it hasn't happened in a really long time, where I've rushed my eye makeup and I look at my eyes and I'm like, you look dusty. Like literally, like I should have just not put anything on. That's why I personally just like the 2 extremes, no makeup or all of the makeup. And it's because I didn't commit to seeing the look all the way through. Oh my God, this is like really bringing me back. Candy Johnson was the Marilyn Monroe tutorial that like taught me how to do this. And the little trick, and I did this every single day, adding that little shadow line. I don't know if you can see it, but you would add a little line. I feel like I need something darker. Black would be crazy, but you added like a little, yeah, shadow there. That almost like, mine's not perfect. It played into the liner and the lashes because it creates that little shadow. Man, that brings me back. We'll just leave it like that. I would have used like a white pencil in my waterline back then, but I really like this off. This is like a baby pink from House Labs, like the original version of House Lab. I'm gonna put that inside. Even I'll use like lashes as an example of not completing a part of the eye, and the difference it's gonna make is there's no mascara in the world that can curl a legitimately straight lash. So if you skip out on the actual lash curling part, the tool that's required to help you, it's not going to play into your eyes in the way that you want it to. Therefore, that curl that you need to open up the eye and make the eye look bigger and brighter, that is now sitting flat and darker, you've just changed the shape of your eye and potentially made the eye area look darker. Yeah, your half done eye makeup or your incomplete eye makeup is affecting your entire face. That's just Macstack Elevated. And then I've always loved bottom mascara. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of Extended Play. So if you're having these like mind-blowing moments right now and you're like, what the? And you're like, oh my God, I've never thought about that before, and you kind of want more insights to these types of things, you have to join my free school community. This is where I will change the way that you guys have been viewing and seeing makeup. I have so many years in the industry. I worked for MAC for 13. I have been with you guys holding your hand this entire time. So I've just made a separate platform that will help you understand the things that I'm talking about. It's totally free to join. The link is in the description below. You will not regret it. Early, this is like... This is so Miss Megan 2009. Okay, I'm gonna try and not underpaint today for my skin. I'm gonna go into a Serumizer. Secret number 2 is that you guys are using more product than ever with a lot less payoff. And a common thing that you guys that can happen to you guys is you have your, you know, half done makeup or half done eyes, and like, why does this look so weird? And then you immediately think like, okay, well, I'm looking tired, so I need to add more concealer to brighten my under eye. But realistically, you just actually needed to add more definition to your eye area, whether that's through liner or mascara. So now you're adding on more concealer than you actually wanted to. That's not hitting the mark because it wasn't ever your concealer's problem. It was your undone eyes. Oh my god, should we just actually like, I'm gonna try and replicate what I remember I used to do on my skin. It was so simple. Okay, I would have used like a matte foundation, but I always still really liked a glowy base to a certain degree. Today for fun, I was gonna mix in the Stargazer Sex Foil Digital Liquid Highlight. I'm gonna mix it right into Studio Fix. I'm very scared. Oh my god, and I would have just, whew. Okay. And I didn't wear bronzer back in the day. I literally would have just looked like this. And then what happens too, when you're layering all of this product, right? So your eyes were the issue, but now you're packing on a brightening concealer under your eyes. So now you're like piling brightening concealer or powder under the eye. Now what you've done is just made the face really flat. So now you're gonna be like, oh my god, okay, what do I do next? And you probably like grab more bronzer and put more bronzer on. But again, it's still not going to hit the mark because it was really the eyes. And now you have more product on that you actually didn't need to put on because it wasn't what was needed. And what happens there when you just start like aimlessly putting on different product everywhere, you're building your skin without balancing it. And makeup is all about balance. Okay, this actually looks really nice. Okay, Studio Fix Fluid, and I don't know if these are still being made or not. Hoo-hoo. Okay. Oh my god, and then I would have gone into my concealer. And then a concept that I'm learning is very new for people, is a focus feature. I did a post on this once in the school community, and then I've talked about it in videos before. But without a focal point or focus feature, so the thing that stands out the most, things get lost in the mix if you don't have a focus feature. And there's so many different ways to get there. You could do it through the feature itself, you could do it through textures, you could do it through shape. Like there's so many different ways to create a focal point in your makeup. But when you don't have that and then you're just aimlessly putting on product, that's where things stop making sense and you're like frustrated and you're like, oh, this is just good enough, like I can leave now. Nobody needs to be doing that. Nobody needs to be doing their makeup to the point where they're frustrated with it and they're leaving. They're like, this just is good enough. There is a perfect version of whatever look you want that exists that you can teach yourself how to do. Oh my god, and then I would have gone in with contour. Okay, wait, a little bit of concealer. And okay, I think I would have done, I think I did contour and then a little bit of peach blush. Actually, I don't want to put on my skin because I don't know how old it is. It's very old. I wore like a peach blush. And even within the focus feature, so let's say you're picking your eyes, there can be a focal point within that actual eye makeup itself. Oh my god, I would have just left it like this. And I don't think I wore, like I think I just went straight in with powders. I'm gonna go in with contour. No Global Glow. I'm gonna use a mixture of these two here. And I know I would have just done my cheek. I don't think I did. I think that's all I did. Every part of me wants to just go like this. It's fine. We're just gonna leave it like this. I didn't even do down here. I wouldn't, but I'm going to. I'm just gonna really quickly. And then I would have worn like a peachy tone blush. Oh, I forgot that the skin's wet. Terrified. Your skin looks really good, if I do say so myself. I don't think, I think I would have left it like this. I don't think I would have added highlighter. I'm gonna add lashes before I decide what red lip I'm gonna do. I owned like really cheap lashes back in the day, and it took me a really long time to learn how to like put them on. But I think I did like really cheap like half lashes when I wore this until I got like my first pairs of MAC lashes. And then the very first pair I ever had was like really plasticky and cheap. So the band was so hard and I glued my eye shut and it was a disaster. Woohoo. If you do like a pinup-y, like Marilyn Monroe kind of thing, I would opt for more of a half lash. I feel like I can like bump up the white in my waterline. It could be a little bit brighter. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my God, for the red lip. I used to go like cherry red. Like I wore cherry lip liner from MAC with MAC Red. Insane. MAC Red because Lady Gaga wore MAC Red. Look at how nice and sharp that is. So the last secret is that you guys do not need more makeup or physically more product sometimes. It's just that you need more intention. Most people overdo like every part of their face except for the one thing that's actually the piece that's missing. And oftentimes people blame the product first, that the product is not working. So they're like, I need more product. Like this one didn't do what I want. Everything's wrong with this, so I need to go buy the next best thing. And that's like just simply not true. Makeup is all about knowing your features, knowing your structure, and knowing the intent behind what you're doing. That's how you execute really great makeup. And you can, this is Brave Red from MAC, and you can adjust everything to, I'm gonna pass away. This is so intense. You can adjust everything to work for you. And the thing that nobody talks about is the more you practice makeup and the more you do it with intent, the better you get at it, therefore the faster you get. So when you guys sit down to do your makeup, you need to get out of that mindset of like, this is gonna take me forever. Because one day that wing liner that took you 20 minutes to do is gonna take you 10. Eventually it's gonna take you 5. I can't really remember what I would do with my Cupid's bow. Oh my God. Who is this? Take some of the Melts Frankenstein powder. I don't know what it's called. She's Alive, I think. Did I powder my face? I think so. I think I had this like random Rimmel loose powder because I was using like the cheapest Rimmel foundation I could ever. I bought like the cheapest Rimmel foundation. It was like a squeeze tube. I would put a beauty mark on too, but I can't remember if I did it on my lip or if I did it up here. I think I did it up here. Yeah, I did it up there. That just brought it all together. Oh my God, my brows. Did I do anything to my brows? I don't think I touched my eyebrows. I think I left it. Oh, but you know what I really loved? I just don't have it anymore, or have the new one. Stand by. I'm too lazy to go grab it, so I'm just gonna use Stargazer highlighter. I always did. Oh my God. It's so funny because this is such a look on me that this is a lot of makeup to me because it's like a look. Even though like my dark smoky eye for me is like normal, for you guys that could be like a look. If you want to take your everyday makeup and make it intentional makeup, make sure you guys hit the link in my description and come over to my free school community. This is where you are finally going to be able to understand makeup and the why behind makeup. You'll no longer feel overwhelmed by your makeup collections. You'll no longer feel pressured from watching like TikTok content. And eventually you will stop just looking for tutorials to answer your questions. And if you're still watching this video, chances are you might need a little bit of help, you might need a lot of help, but you're still here. So make sure you hit the link in my description and head over to my free school community. Wow. This is literally, I wore this makeup every single day for years. You couldn't get me out of it. I can't remember if I put on a highlighter or not. Cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. If anything in this video helped you, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all under the same name, at Miss Megan Robinson. If you get frustrated doing your makeup, let me know in the comments below how often that happens for you and what the one feature is that you like to play up. Make sure you guys join my free school community. Don't be late for school, and I'll see you next time. Bye.